Got an absolute corker of a build today for you. The Stasis Hunter and the exotic Glaive. These pair perfectly together, and on top of that we're going to be featuring Mask of Bakris and some other arc weapons like Hothead, Adept and things like that. But the Glaive is arc and it absolutely hits like an absolute steam train. It's a really strong Glaive. It's not like the other Glaives on the other characters. They seem a little bit more clunky. This Glaive is very lightweight, very snappy, and it does plenty of damage, and it's very useful. The Hunter exotic Glaive is called Edge of Concurrence. It is an absolutely brilliant Glaive. It's 80 rounds per minute, and it's got the exotic trait on there, Lightning Seeker. When the weapon energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot track targets across the ground and unleash chain lightning and impact. It chains up to 8 enemies at a time. So it's a little bit like Trinity Ghoul, except it does a lot more damage than what Trinity Ghoul does. It absolutely batters enemies to death. I'm on a Stasis Hunter, so the exotic of choice is Mask of Bakris, because what this does, it replaces your Stasis subclass dodge with a longer range, faster moving shift that partially cloaks you during use. It also gives you a 10% damage increase to arc weapons, and additional 10% if the enemy is frozen as well. So you can get up to 20% extra damage if they're frozen and you do your light shift dodge to get that extra 10% damage increase. I've got some footage to show you of that working. 17k, do my light shift dodge that lasts for 10 seconds, and I'm going to hit for 19k, so that is a 10% damage increase on the dot. So a nice solid 10% damage increase is obviously handy for your arc weapons. The exotic Glaive is arc. Now another thing that does benefit from the Mask of Bakris is the actual exotic trait on the Glaive, the Lightning Seeker. You'll see here, I'm going to do that, and it's going to hit for 78,000, which by the way is quite nice damage anyway for a Glaive, nearly 80k. But we can increase that a little bit more. All we have to do is get 4 hits on an enemy, and that will charge the Glaive up for the exotic trait. And you'll see when I do the exotic trait again, hold to reload, that lightning along the ground when I dodge is going to do an extra 10%. So it was 78k. All I'm going to do is activate it, do my dodge, fire it along the ground, and then bang, 86,291. That's a 10% damage increase. Now, as well as getting a 10% damage increase for dodging, you also get a 10% additional damage if they're slowed or frozen. So you'll see this happening now. I've done my light shift, and that then goes up to 94,000. That's 20% damage increase from the original number that you saw. So this works with the actual projectile or the exotic trait on the Glaive. 94,000. Which again, by the way, for a Glaive is very strong. So 10% for the light shift, 10% for the slowed and frozen for the extra damage off Bakris, and on top of that we can add an arc weapon surge as well. 3 of them equals 22% extra damage. So in the next clip you're going to see even bigger damage. We're going to have the Mask of Bakris exotic trait dodge for 10%, the 10% against a slowed enemy, and you'll see I've picked up an orb there. Slowed, is frozen. I've done the dodge, and then I've picked up the orb for the kinetics, for the arc surges. 127k. Now 127k from this Glaive, to me that is absolutely crazy. Some massive damage. Now, I've used this Glaive quite a lot over the last couple of seasons, and I did pick up a cheeky little tip, especially if you run an arc hothead to get full advantage of the Mask of Bakris. But in particular, the lasting impression perk is absolutely superb to pair with this Glaive, because what you can do is you can manage to get them both going off at exactly the same time, like so. So I'm going to prime my Glaive, I'm going to fire my lasting impression rocket launcher. While that's detonating, while it's waiting to detonate, I'll do my exotic Glaive on the ground like that, the exotic trait, the Lightning Seeker, and you'll see here the timing is perfect. Just before it hits, I do my Bakris dodge to get the extra damage on my Hothead and the Glaive, and you'll see the two numbers, 109 and 159, like 270 odd k damage, which is absolutely crazy, and it's a really top little trick to use if you do have this Glaive and you want to get some damage out. A really nice little tip. Now, the actual Glaive, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it isn't like the other two exotic Glaives. Now, I do love both of them Glaives as well, but they are very different to this one. This one is very snappy, very agile, and what you'll see in this clip is how good this Glaive is for all different types of activities. And you'll see again what I'm doing there is I'm doing that little tip I talked about, my lasting impression, and then at the same time I'm going to be doing my Lightning Seeker exotic trait off the Glaive, and you can do some really good damage. On top of that, it's really handy for situations like this. You just stick your head out, bosh, things like that. It's really, really good if you're in taking a bit of damage. You can fire it away and it will track. It's got some really, really good tracking on there. But again, you'll just see me focusing on doing that lasting impression and the Lightning Seeker trait at the same time. Now, another little top tip with this Glaive as well, this season it is medieval champion, so Glaives do an unstoppable explosive payload. That's really good for unstoppable champions. You'll see here the actual exotic Glaive, the Lightning Seeker, that does actually unstop champions, so that I found really, really cool. That's something I found out a couple of seasons ago, but it's relevant again this season obviously. Now I'm just going to switch focus slightly to the actual Stasis Hunter. Now Stasis Hunters in particular are absolutely exceptional for Overload champions because of the Stasis slow effects. All Stasis slow effects affects Overload and it's absolutely top tier. Winter's Shroud, one of the aspects, whenever you dodge near an enemy, it's going to slow nearby targets. That is an instant stun for an Overload. We've also got Dustfield Grenade which slows, again that is an instant stun for the Overloads. And the very last one is the actual super, the Silence and Squall. That also is exceptional for Overloads as well. So Stasis Hunters are absolutely top tier for Overloads. You'll see there, instant stun. I don't even know weapons that stun that quick. Look at that, that's just a dodge. Instant stun. So that is the Winter's Shroud. And on top of that, we've got the super, like so. That also is an instant stun. And that absolutely pairs perfectly for the Glaive and Bakris, with it being arc. So altogether for Overload champions, just something I wanted to show you. I thought it was really cool, and how good this is for Overload champions. It's absolutely top tier Stasis Hunters. Just something to briefly mention as well, this season it is Strand, Void as Solar Surges. Next season is going to be Arc, so whatever you've seen, it's going to be a whole lot better next season. We're going to have more arc focused activities. And then also what I wanted to do is give you some other options of some other weapons to pair with this particular build, because I didn't just want to do a full video on the Glaive because I'm aware some people might not have it. It's a bit buggy at the moment, the quest line. So I did wanted to give you some other options. Trespasser is exceptional with Bakris and the Stasis build. Again, it's anti-barrier sidearm this season, so Trespasser is a really solid option. Now another combo to consider as well is Fourth Horseman. This is an absolute beast with Bakris, it always has been, and it's super strong this season as well, especially if we consider all the slowing effects for the Overloads as well. For example, Winter's Shroud, you'd be able to just slow the Overload and go straight in. And then again with Stasis, another thing to sort of consider as well, the actual freezing capabilities does stop anti-barriers putting their shields up as well. So that's the video. I'll leave a dim link in the video description, leave everything playing out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.